y'all.
Hello.
We wanted to start our other vlog. We're going to be vlogging a lot. My school is about to start back in session on Monday, but we're going to be doing it online and it's not going to be nearly as chaotic, and I'm still going to have all this downtime because of the quarantine, so I will still be reading a lot. I want to read everything that I possibly can this weekend. I don't know if it'll be 1 or 2 vlogs this weekend. We'll see, but...
I keep thinking today's Saturday.
Jack, are you sad?
My hoochie coochie isn't showing.
Today was Friday, Mama.
I know, but I thought yesterday was Friday, and I thought Wednesday was Thursday. I'm so messed up.
You are. It's because Daddy's home. Because Daddy's quarantined too. We are going to read some things in this vlog. Obviously, it's a reading vlog. Mama wants to read Truly Devious.
Yes, I couldn't find my other one on Audibles, and I don't comprehend. If I just read, I have to read and reread and reread and reread. It takes me a lot longer to get through a book.
Yeah. She's going to listen to this, and I really need to read. I need to read this as well. I hope I can read it soon, but I have started 8 Perfect Murders, and I am really going to get into this. I just edited the vlog. I'm about ready to upload it. Then I'm going to start reading. So I'm so excited though, because this book has been so good. Oh, I'm so fucking sorry. But this book has been so good so far. I think I'm gonna actually rate The Kind Worth Killing a 5, because I rated it a 4. That's so random, but that's Peter Swanson's other book. I've rated it before she knew him.
When
a
did
5.
you read that book?
Oh, like a year ago, or like maybe even 2. I don't know. But I'm gonna rate it a 5.
I haven't heard you talk about that book in a while.
I know. I'm gonna rate it a 5 though.
I don't even remember that book.
Didn't read it. I read it.
Granted, I don't remember what I read last week.
She's not been keeping track of her books.
But I have. It didn't take it. Remember?
No. Mama, Goodreads doesn't do that.
I tried to put it in there 3 times last night, and it didn't take it till the 3rd time.
She has not been keeping track of her books. Period.
Butthead.
No.
Don't whip your hair at me.
Don't whip your hair. Ah!
My hair ain't long enough to whip. It might be.
No.
You realize that we were going to buddy read Fireflies Everywhere.
Little fires everywhere.
Whatever. And if I read this, I'm going to have to read the other 2.
That's fine. If we don't get to it, we don't get to it. I might pick this up after my other one.
What's it called? Fireflies Everywhere?
Little fires everywhere.
Little fires
There's no fireflies. It's just little fires everywhere.
I think Fireflies is a better name.
That doesn't have anything to do with the story. Anyways, we're going to get started reading. We'll update y'all throughout the night.
In the progress of my puzzle.
Yep. It's going
I
along
may or
good.
may not ever get it done because it is so hard.
Yeah, I think it's because of the colors.
It's all brown.
Yeah.
And it's all books and flowers.
I don't like flowers, but I love books.
Well, there's just like 2 bunches of flowers.
I know. I don't mind the flowers. I was just saying.
And we're going to put it over her bookshelf, I think. For a mirror.
So pretty. I also need to do a bookshelf tour soon.
We had to take her shoe rack out of her closet and make it
a bookshelf. It's over there. So, yeah, I know. I have a problem. But we will update y'all later. Bye. Hey, y'all. So I am about ready to read some more. I am 100 pages in to 8 Perfect Murders. Oh my gosh, this book is so fucking interesting. I can't. Like, I'm going to finish it now. Like, I'm gonna sit down and finish it because I am that intrigued. It's only 270 pages, so I literally have 170 pages to go, and I can definitely finish this tonight and start another book. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have like a feeling that I'm gonna wish this book was longer. So far, I'm absolutely obsessed with everything. It is so interesting. Peter Swanson is so good at making you just want to read and read and read and read and read, because that's all I've wanted to do. And when I read The Kind Worth Killing, I did that. When I read Before She Knew Him, I did that. Like, I just read it non-fucking-stop. Could not put it down. But Mama is working on her puzzle. Yes. And she's reading Truly Devious. She's having trouble getting into books right now.
Oh, it's because I keep getting interrupted every time I hit play. Nobody will talk to me for 20 minutes. Every time I hit play, somebody talks to me.
She's probably mad at me right now because I said we needed to vlog, but I mean, I just wanted to do content.
I will wait because inevitably every time somebody talks to me, every time I hit play, somebody talks to me.
Yeah.
So I'll wait 10 or 15 minutes before I hit play.
You know what I mean?
Nobody will say a word to me. I hit play, somebody talks to me every time.
Yeah. It's part of being a mama, I guess. What I mean is that you're having trouble sticking to books. Like,
Yeah.
she keeps wanting to switch around, which is what I do all the time. Yeah.
I'm just having trouble.
You've read almost every love story I have.
I know.
But Mama thinks I'm getting annoyed with her because she keeps changing her mind. And I'm like, do you know me? All I do is change my mind on books. In the last vlog, I switched my mind like at least 8 times before I finally decided.
Well, Helen Hart has a bunch out, so I might just look up her name.
Ugh, you said to me a while ago, I don't want to read about hardcore sex and sex in general.
The ones
Mama, no, all of these. They are way more sexual than the Ivy Chronicle books that I just recommended you. Way more sexual.
I'll not try those if I can't get into the
Like by 8. Because I cannot believe that.
College try.
She's gonna try it. I need to read Truly Devious as well. But I'm not even
The
gonna
ones that I want to read are not on
Scribd and Audibles.
And I think that blows.
We're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna finish this book. I'll update you when I'm done. And then I'll move on to another. Because like I said, it's gonna be a wham bam, thank you ma'am type of situation. So that's what we're gonna do. But we will update y'all later. Bye. Hey y'all, so it is 1 in the morning almost, not quite. I have 90 pages left of 8 Perfect Murders, so I'm going to take a bath real quick, and I think I'm gonna finish it in the tub, or almost finish it in the tub. But my back's hurting really bad, joint pain from my Crohn's disease, and I'm going to just soak in a nice warm bath. Mama is currently listening to Truly Devious.
Like it? I like it a lot.
Good.
I'm working on the puzzle.
Yep.
It's killing me tonight. I'm not having much luck finding stuff.
Her bangs look a little ridiculous. She cut them herself, and I tell her not to.
So
You would have done it anyways. Let's not pretend you don't cut your bangs all the time. You do.
I usually cut below my eyebrows and I cut above. I don't know. I just had a brain freeze. And
Yeah, after I finish this, I want to read something actually lighthearted. I know last vlog I was like, after reading Bunnies, I need to read something really lighthearted and nice, and I ended up picking up another dark thriller, but I will actually be reading a lighter, fluffier book, and I think I'm going to read The Bookish Life of Nina Hill next. That's what's calling to me after this one, so I will start that one. I would say I'd pick up Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ning, but I don't know if that's gonna still be too heavy for me. I do intend on reading both of those books during this quarantine weekend. So we're gonna be
either Bookish Life of Nina Hill or Landline.
I think Landline, I could read Landline.
I don't know why you're postponing the Bookish Life of Nina Hill.
I always do that with books that I think I'm gonna love. It took me a while to start the book I'm reading now, because I wait for it for so long, because I waited for that to come out.
Yeah.
And it's like, you wait for it and you wait for it, and then you consume it, and then you're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Like, I'm doing it with The Toll by Neil Shusterman, the Scythe book, and I'm doing it with Before the Devil Breaks You and King of Crows from the Diviner series. So, and I'm doing it with Capturing the Devil from Stalking Jack the Ripper. I'm halfway through that book and I can't finish it because I know it's gonna be over and I'm gonna cry. So I have a serious issue regarding those things. I get very attached to the characters. I'm gonna finish this book, and so far it is great. Like, I love Peter Swanson and his writing. I don't know how he does this. I want to learn from him. I want to know how he manages to write these amazing thrillers that are different each time, but equally as interesting and equally as enthralling, and makes you want to just continuously read it. Like, putting it down to vlog just now, an update, was physically painful for me because I am so fascinated with everything that's going on, and I want to find out now what is going on. And I'm reading it quickly because I'm interested in it. And that always helps. I can always tell when
You haven't had to put it down and take breaks.
Yeah, I can always tell when I'm super in love and enthralled in a book when I'm not having to take breaks every few minutes, because a lot of the time I can't focus for more than like half an hour. So then I have to put it down, and then I have to do something else, and I have to get on my phone, or I have to step away from the world, because I also have this issue of getting way too invested, or I either get a lot of anxiety because I'm a very anxious person. I have generalized anxiety disorder. I am on like 4 different medications for depression and anxiety and OCD, so I have to step away sometimes. It's a technique that I've learned that I have to do, because when I was in middle school, I read Speak and Winter Girls by Lori Hall Sanderson. Those books consumed me, and my mom remembers it giving me so much anxiety and like me panicking all the time. And yeah, I would freak out in the bathtub. I would call her in there. I'd be having panic attacks, like full blown, I can't breathe, thought I was having a heart attack, panic attacks. And I had to learn that it's okay for me to go into another world, because that's why I read, not worry about the things that I worry about, because I'm constantly fearful of death because I've had so much of it. And I'm just a very fearful individual, but I'm also kind of obsessed with death because I love reading thrillers and I like watching like scary horror movies. So it's a very weird relationship. Fake death. If it's real, I can't handle it. I don't like all this corona stuff going on right now. I'm having a very difficult time with it. I'm also a very empathetic person, and I've always been able to put myself in other people's shoes and feel what they're feeling somehow. And I've been like that since I was a little girl. And it's just like, I don't know. All of it's a lot of emotions for me, but with books, I really do have to step outside of the book and take a breath and realize that it's not real. You don't need to panic, just calm down. But this book is not giving me that. I'm not getting anxiety while reading this. I'm very excited, but I'm not super anxious about it. I'm anxious, but not like in a bad way. I am overly excited to find out what happens. And I just like it when a book interests me this much that I consistently read it and don't take all these breaks. But like I said, go into the tub.
Breathe.
Jack's asleep. Out. Mama's doing her puzzle. She's gonna listen some more to Truly Devious. I'm gonna finish the book in the tub. So we'll see y'all later. Bye. Hey you guys.
Hello.
So I finished 8 Perfect Murders.
I'm on chapter 26. I don't know how many chapters is on this book.
3.5 hours left.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go to bed before this is over.
Yeah, I finished 8 Perfect Murders and I gave it a 5. It was so good. Like, I consumed this book so quickly. I don't even know what to say about it. Like, it was kind of predictable, I will say. I predicted a lot of what was going to happen at the end. That's okay though, because it was so well executed and the storytelling was so good that I'm still giving it a 5. Those are how I know thrillers are so good, when I predict a lot of what, there was a couple things that I was like, oh, that's interesting, and oh, I didn't know that was what happened, but that's kind of how it was with The Kind Worth Killing and Before She Knew Him. They were both books that to me didn't have this crazy twist. I mean, there was a twist in the middle of The Kind Worth Killing, I guess. That was pretty big. That did impress me. There was that twist. Before She Knew Him, I had guessed about halfway through the book what the ending of that was. I have given all of his books, I've moved The Kind Worth Killing up to a 5 because I've come to my senses and realized that he cannot write a book that's not a 5. Not that I've read so far. So I moved it up to a 5 and I'm rating this one a 5 as well. And I think it's just because he does such a good job with his characters. Like, even the ones that are really bad people, you just care about them and you really don't want anything bad to happen to them. This book was great. And now I'm going to start another one. I think I'm going to start The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. I need a break from the dark because I've read 2 dark books now. And I think it's time that I read something a little bit more fluffy. I have The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. I just don't know where I put it at the moment. I think it's in the den. But I'm gonna come into my bedroom. It is currently 3 in the morning. And I'm gonna go lay down, at least start the book. I seriously can't decide between The Bookish Life of Nina Hill or Everything I Never Told You. I'm going to read both before the weekend is over for sure. I think I'm gonna read The Bookish Life of Nina Hill that's just what I really want to read. It'll be something lighthearted because I know Everything I Never Told You is going to be a little more heavy. I kind of need a break from that. So this is the book I'm going to start next. I'm actually sticking to the original TBR that I had. I swayed from it a few times thinking that I wasn't going to stick with that, but I'm actually sticking with it, and I'm really determined to finish my original TBR for the first time ever in my life. Then I'm just gonna create a new TBR at the end of the weekend, do more quarantine life. Now it probably won't be as extensive. I'll probably pick maybe 2-3 books instead of like 4 for this next week because I do have school that starts back up, and I will vlog some of like the online school stuff that I'm going to be doing, but for the most part I really do want to just continue reading because I haven't enjoyed reading this much in a long time. I think I read so much my first year of BookTube that I kind of drained myself, and yeah. I kind of also have this mission that I need to start reading more books than I'm buying because I keep buying all these books but I'm not reading nearly as much. The first year of BookTube I could justify me buying all of these books because I was consistently reading as much as I was buying. Now I'm not reading as much, and it's like I can't really justify my horrible book buying habits, and I bought 3 more books yesterday. I clearly have a serious issue, but that's neither here nor there. We're not going to discuss my issue. I don't know if I'm going to end this vlog now or end it tomorrow morning, letting you know how far I've gotten in. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to end it tomorrow morning, let you know how far Mama got, let her finish her book, then in this vlog, and then start with the new vlog with the Bookish Life of Nina Hill. And hopefully I can even read Everything I Never Told You as well in the same vlog, and then start my new TBR because I'm in a really, really good reading place right now and I want to keep that going. I'm going to take advantage of this quarantine and really try to get back into what I love doing more than anything, which is reading a shit ton of books and reviewing them, because that is genuinely what I feel I am most passionate about in my life, is reading books and reviewing them and talking to people about those books. So if I could seriously just do this for a living and make a good, sustainable living by just doing this, I would do it every single day and not be bored. I love reading. I love books. I've always loved books. This is something that has been a part of my life since I was in the womb, considering my mother read to me while she was pregnant with me. And I had a library card in my hand before I had a bottle. That's just how I am. I just wish I could read everything. I wish I could buy all the books. Peter Swanson scares me. It honestly scares me that his mind is that conniving and twisted and dark, and it's awesome though, but I love it and I love him. I want to meet him. Oh my God, I feel like I feel like I would feel about the same way as I felt if I would meet Stephen King, just absolutely petrified that they were gonna actually kill me. I know they wouldn't. I know I sound crazy. I'm just high on adrenaline because I finished 2 books in 2 days and I'm very proud of myself. I will update y'all in the morning so that you know what Mama thinks of Truly Devious when she's finished with it. And we will see y'all tomorrow. Bye. Mama, say bye.
Bye.
Hey y'all, so I am reading The Bookish Life of Nina Hill now. I'm literally on chapter 2 and I've already made 3 tabs of things that I've marked down because I told y'all that my mom said that this girl was me. My mom knows me better than anybody. She knows me better than I know myself or anybody else in this world. She knows me. And at first I was like, oh, okay, like there'll probably be like some similarities, because like that's how it's been for a lot of, but like Eliza and Her Monsters, I remember there being quite a bit of similarities. This is the first book that I've read where the similarities are, it's almost like I'm being written about, and it's creepy because I really feel like the author knew me somehow and just put everything down onto the pages, because I'm not a person that when I read a book, the book doesn't have to relate to me, or I don't have to relate to the book. I don't have to relate to the main character. I'm all about entertainment. If it's entertaining, I'm gonna read it. Like, I don't have to relate to anything, because first of all, it's a really narcissistic and selfish thing to think that every single book out there needs to somehow relate back to you. That's not how that works. There are so many different people in the world other than you, so I always get so amazed when somebody reads a book and their comment is, well, I couldn't relate to it. Like, let's say they read about, let's say like a white person reads a book where the main character is a black woman And they're like, well, I couldn't relate to the character or anything in the book at all. And it's like, it wasn't meant for you, sweetheart. It wasn't. Like, don't be shocked by it. It just wasn't meant for you. Just enjoy the damn book, you know? So, but this one, it's weird. It's almost creeping me out because I went and showed my mom the 3 tabs and I was like, yeah, you're right. This girl is me. Like, I've never, ever experienced something like this before. But Nina, the first chapter, you see she's talking to a customer. She works at a bookstore, which I've always wanted to work at a bookstore, and I was going to apply to a bookstore, but then I had all of these issues with my Crohn's disease, shocker, and now I'm gonna have to have surgeries and stuff, so I have to take care of that first, but eventually I'm gonna be working at a bookstore. But she's working at a bookstore and she's talking to a customer, and this customer is very, very rude. And Nina is having a hard time controlling her temper, not killing her, which, yeah, that's like one of the reasons I'm terrified to work in retail. I don't like people. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. I love books. I love people in books. I love a few people. But in general, I don't like people. And I know that sounds weird because I have a YouTube channel and people watch me and I like talking to people about books. I do. But I'm talking about just in the general population. I don't like people. And if this coronavirus has taught me anything, is that I'm not wrong regarding my hatred towards people, because there have been some utter moronic people and selfish people regarding this coronavirus. So if anything, I've been told that I'm absolutely right for despising the human race at times. Anyways, she is talking with the customer, and this customer is being very bitchy and rude, and Nina is trying really hard not to hit her. Like, I feel that. And this girl comes in here in the bookstore, wants to return a book. And we don't find out what the book is until the exchange is done. And Nina, the narrator, explains that the woman threw Pride and Prejudice at Nina. That's the book the girl didn't like, Pride and Prejudice. My favorite book of all time. Of all time. If you don't like Pride and Prejudice, that is obviously more than fine. You are more than entitled to not like Pride and Prejudice. However, do not throw the Pride and Prejudice, because that book opened so many doors for women, and just in general, like especially female writers, but just for women in general. And it is still making valid points regarding women today. It was so ahead of its time that it's still relevant today. And it's like, you're gonna throw the Pride and Prejudice. I would have fucking tackled that bitch. Oh my God, I was so mad. I was like, who the fuck throws the Pride and Prejudice? Who does that? Like, what the fuck? No, it's okay if you don't like it. I get it. Some people think it's boring. I totally respect that. I do. But you have to recognize the significance of the book itself. There's a whole bigger picture than just the book. There is. And if you don't recognize that, what? So that already pissed me off. But she was pissed too, so I felt better about that. And then she was talking about how the bookstore was heaven on earth and she loved the bookstore. And then she said, now if they could only get rid of the customers and lock the front doors, they'd really be onto something. Me. My mom was like, she told me the first time she read that, she was like, you have to read this. And I read it and I was like, oh my God. She's like, I'm telling you, I've not even gotten into this book and this girl is you. You would say something like that for sure. And I would. And then in the beginning of the second chapter, she says, this is her general description. This is another thing my mom had told me that she thought of. It says, in general, she wasn't the kind of woman to turn casual heads. Her looks were an acquired taste, and her resting expression suggested you weren't going to be given much of a chance to acquire it. She was small and slender and gave the overall expression of a baby deer, but until she spoke and you realized you'd been looking at a fox all along. And as her good friend Leah once said, she wasn't mean, she was painfully accurate. That is a perfect description of me. A lot of people look at me, they think I'm this really sweet little girl, and because a lot of people think I'm the youngest I've been told, when I was 16, somebody thought I was 9 and gave me a free meal. Now I get told I'm either 14, 15, or 16. Those are the 3 ages that people think that I am. Nobody thinks I'm 22. Everybody thinks I'm so much younger than I am. And people always look at me and think, oh, she's such a sweet little innocent girl and blah, 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 blah. And then I open my mouth and I'm talking to you and I curse like a sailor on leave and I've got this wit that is crazy. And that needs to be held back, honestly, like by quite a bit, because all I know how to do is speak sarcasm. Like, I'm just a very sarcastic asshole, and I don't know what to do about that, but I am. But I'm also like oddly serious whenever I'm being sarcastic, so I don't know. The bluntness as well is my problem. I'm a very blunt person, very honest. If you want my opinion, I'm gonna give you my opinion. And if you don't like it, why did you ask? And that's just how I've always been. It's caused problems. It really has. I've had people say, hey, do you like my new boyfriend? And I'll say no. Then when they're like, what? And I'm like, you asked me. And I really don't know what they wanted me to do. Like, you asked me, am I supposed to lie? My mom and my dad tell me, yeah, you're supposed to lie. But then I wouldn't be being a good friend if I didn't tell the truth. It's very confusing for me. To me, I'd want to know the truth. Like, if I brought a guy home and my parents were like, oh my God, I don't like him, he seems weird, I'd want somebody to tell me that, right? Like, what if like, I don't know. That's just me. Also, the whole thing, my dentist once told me that he was afraid to come up and talk to me because he said I was so intimidating. And I used to have people tell me that a lot, that I was a very intimidating person. I didn't understand that. I was like, well, and I've been told I'm very closed offish, that I am not an approachable person, which I don't like that, because I've never been mean to somebody unless you give me a good reason to be. I won't be mean to you. I get really sad when people are like, oh, I was afraid to come up and talk to you. And I'm just like, you shouldn't be. I'm never gonna yell or get mad. Like, I wouldn't be mad or upset. Just if you started being an asshole to me or somebody I love, then yeah, or anybody really, I will get mad. But yeah, I'm gonna keep reading. So far, this book is crazy accurate. It's really weird. I'll update y'all later. Bye. Hello, everybody. It is much, much later. My eyebrows are ridiculously disgusting, picking them like crazy. A lot to update on. I finished The Bookish Life of Nina Hill. I am between a 4.5 and a 5-star, and the reason I am hesitant to give it a 5-star is because it made me very anxious. I know that probably sounds ridiculous, but Nina, the main character, does suffer with pretty bad anxiety, and therefore some of the anxiety would rub up onto me, and I also have really, really bad anxiety. But this book was almost hard to read because of how much I related to it, and it was just kind of a really weird thing to read about. All of the reasons she doesn't get into a relationship, all the excuses she makes when she doesn't get into a relationship, how she likes to be alone, making friends isn't her forte. It was just all a little bit too familiar. Because anytime, I think I mentioned this, anytime a guy comes into my life, I get so scared and afraid of the change that will inevitably come. I've had enough surprises in my life, you know, medical stuff, death. It's just been a lot. I like the way things are right now, and I like to stay in my little safe place, and this is what I enjoy doing. I have spent the entire weekend, even though we're under quarantine, so I don't really have a choice, but this is what I would have been doing anyways. I spent the whole weekend reading in my bedroom or in my den and reading books. I've read 3 books this weekend. That's a lot of books, and I'm about to pick up another one, so that's what I enjoy doing. I did really like the book. I loved Nina. I loved Tom. I liked that the romance wasn't the central core of it. A lot of it was her and other portions of her life. Like, the guy didn't come into the picture and just take over every single little aspect of it, which I did like about that. And the family dynamic was hilarious. Like, that was the most I laughed, when the family was all together, or when Lydia was in, because she was hilarious. But it was a great, great book. I really did thoroughly enjoy it, and I enjoyed spending my Saturday reading it. One more book for my TBR this weekend, then I start a new one. I haven't vlogged hardly at all today. I don't even know if I should combine the footage from yesterday and today and just make one big vlog, which is what I probably will end up doing. For the next vlog, I'll be reading Everything I Never Told You by Celeste Ning. My husband working on her puzzle. She is on the 2nd book in the Truly Devious series. She gave Truly Devious, what did you rate Truly Devious?
5.
A 5. And now she's on The Vanishing Stair.
It's really good. Look at my puzzle.
Puzzle's looking good. She's getting really far along, actually. Just in the past, like, hour since I checked up on her, she's gone, what is wrong with you? That's her update. Oh my gosh, I just dropped a book. This book I got in the mail today, though. The Vegetarian by Han Kang. I just heard about this book. Books and Lala read it. That's where I get most of my book recommendations. Hey, y'all. Oh my God, I look so bad. That little eye roll that I did was not towards Books and Lala. That was towards me, because I feel like I mention her every 2 seconds, and I don't think she'll ever watch my videos, but if she does, I don't want her to think I'm some crazy ass stalker. We just have similar book taste, and I rolled my eyes because I feel like you're not helping your stalker points right now. So that's why I rolled my eyes. I didn't want you to think it was because like of her. I love her. She's great. See? Stalker points. I love you like a friend though, okay? The friend that I've never met. Oh my god, I'm not crazy. I feel like that's obviously clear. However, she did not enjoy this. So I did not know that though when I bought it. I just saw that she had it and I was like, oh, that sounds kind of interesting, because I read the back of the book and I was like, that does sound kind of interesting. But this is not on my TBR for next week, I don't think, unless I just spontaneously pick it up. I think I have my TBR set in place for next week. I think I'm want to read Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ning. I hope I'm saying her name right. I need help. I want to read Come Tumbling Down by Shauna Maguire. And then I want to read Truly Devious, because I've been wanting to read Truly Devious for a very long time and I haven't gotten around to it. I want to read this. So these 3 are going to be on my TBR list. I might add another one just because seriously, I'm not going to be going anywhere at all this week. And normally during school, I do go quite a bit of places. Right now though, these are the ones on my TBR. I might add another one, maybe. There's so much satisfaction and pleasure of completing my original TBR, because I've never done it before. The 4 books that I started with at the beginning of this weekend are the 4 books that I have read. I normally go off the path and don't read those books, but I've done pretty good this weekend, so I'm very proud of myself. I'm gonna end the vlog here. I'm gonna go start Everything I Never Told You in a little while. That one I probably will have halfway through finished before I go to sleep tonight, and then wake up tomorrow morning, finish it, and then do some schoolwork that I don't want to do. I might not do school. That's a lie, I shouldn't do that. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye.